Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk and from poodlesjewellery.com. Thank you for joining me on South Hill and Stampin' Up on Sunday. This is the day of the week where I combine my two working lives together, and in previous weeks I have built a locket and then showed you a card that I have made based on it, but I've decided I'm going to go back to my paper crafting roots because actually there's really only so many times you can see me make a locket. And I thought you might like an extra paper craft project because kind of this is what I'm known for on YouTube. So what I have done is this is a locket that I wore earlier in the week. As some of you may know, I wasn't very well at the beginning of the week. And so I went out for a belated anniversary meal with my husband because my locket last week was for our anniversary. So we went out for a meal and I quickly put this locket together. And I loved it so much, and actually so did everybody else, that I decided to make a card inspired by it. So I'm going to recreate this card for you, and then I will zoom in so you can have a look at this. I'm going to pop it out to one side. Now I'm using A4 cardstock, which is 11 3/4 by 8 1/4 inches. So obviously those in America who work with 8 1/2 by 11, your measurement's going to be slightly different. But basically I won't give you accurate specific measurements for the card. I will talk you through how to reduce your layers. But the first thing you want to do is you want to take your sheet of cardstock, no matter what size it is, mine is basic black, cut it down the length and then fold it in half, which is what I've done here. So that is my card blank. So it doesn't matter whether you're A4 or 8 1/2 by 11. The layer that you want over the top of that is a whisper white layer, and you measure this piece on the left and the right, and you cut a piece that is 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre less. So that's how you get that layer. And then I have the beautiful red glimmer paper. Isn't that lush? Oh, it's a bit of a dull day. Actually, it's not. It's beautifully sunny, but I'm under a cloud at the moment. And that I've also taken that 1/2 centimetre less that way and that way, which is 1/4 inch less that way and that way. And finally, another piece of whisper white that's going over the top. And the reason I've picked out the red is because in my beautiful locket, if I tip that so you can get the light, I have got 3 red crystals in there, 3 red birthstones. I've actually got a ladybird as well, but I don't have a ladybird stamp, so we'll gloss over that. And now I'm going to do my stamping. So I've got Gorgeous Grunge, and I've chosen that because I've actually got black crystals in here as well. Maybe I should have zoomed in at the beginning. We'll come to that at the end. And so I wanted the black crystals, but I didn't want the big splodges and I didn't want circles, I just wanted scatterings. So that's why I've chosen this one, which I've already got ready, prepped on my block. And when you're stamping with black ink onto Whisper White or Very Vanilla, you need to use the StazOn, because otherwise our basic black risks sort of smudging a little bit, whereas this dries immediately. So, and it smells like almonds. If you like the smell, great. If you don't, keep the lid on quick. So I'm going to stamp that once there, and whoops, and I'm going to stamp it again. Apparently there. Let's try that again. Look, there's never any errors with Gorgeous Grunge. Don't you just love stamp sets that you don't make an error with? And then off there. So that's my stamping done. I want to do some punching and sponging. So as you can see, I've got glimmer paper here. So I've got my little piece of the silver glimmer paper. I'm going to punch one itty bitty butterfly out of there, one elegant butterfly. And because our small heart punch has retired or is retiring, and I don't know whether it's at the point of time I'm filming, I don't know whether it's still going to be available. I've decided to take the owl punch, which has got a tiny little heart up there. And actually, I can, because it's at the top, I can put in a proper little corner of this punch and not waste anything. So I've got my tiny little dinky, oh, it's so cute, heart there. That's really sweet. And then my flowers, because my flower in here has got oxidization in it, so it's got sort of blackened parts in it. It's a deliberate thing. I'm going to punch that out, and I wanted to layer it up, so I've got the Boho Blossoms punch for that. And so I'm doing all of the punching now because I want to do all of the sponging in a second. Punches all 3 out in one go. Coming back to the black StazOn because I want to sponge onto glimmer paper and onto Whisper White. So again, I wanted to try really quickly. and just my ordinary basic black sponge, which is there. I'm going to quickly come around the edges of all of these, and this one. And this one as well. And then I'm going to do the butterflies. I'm just tinting up the edges, and actually, although I haven't got a butterfly in there, I've got a dragonfly. I haven't got a dragonfly punch or stamp. I think we ought to start a petition to get one of those with Stampin' Up. What do you reckon? I think that would be a good idea. So that makes that butterfly look quite different to that, just that little bit grungified. Grungified, is that a word? It's a word. And this one as well. And I'm going to leave the heart as it is, because there's a lovely little crystal heart down at the bottom there. And then I can start putting it all together. So I'm going to bring in my spongy mat. I'm going to put my 3 flowers on, and I want to, as you can see there, I've layered them all together. So I'm going to come into the middle of all of them and squish them down quite hard. And my mini glue dots, which I forgot to get out, just here. And I'm going to turn those ones over so that I can pick them up with my paper piercer. What I'm doing is I'm picking up a glue dot. There you go, you can see that there. Putting it on the back, and then that means that I can lift that up as a whole and move it around, turn the whole thing over and put it inside the largest flower, and then do the same again. So I've picked up a glue dot, there you go, you can see that, onto the back, turn the whole lot over and put it inside. And that's how you use your paper piercer and your mini glue dots to manipulate stuff. And then I've got some rhinestones. I had some rhinestones. I have got them. Looking in the wrong place. Over here, some of the basics rhinestones. So I'm going to take the middle one. And again, I'm just picking that up with the paper piercer. And put one in the middle. I did think about putting a basic black candy dot, but decided I wanted to, you know, it's only inspired by the locket. It's not an identical replication. Is that a word? Replica of it. And then I'm going to fold the butterflies, fold them at the middle point, and this one. And I'm going to start building up these layers. Now with glimmer paper, sticking stuff to glimmer paper, you kind of need a stronger glue than snail, so liquid glue works very well. And all of my layers, they're actually all flat to the card. There's no elevation in there. So my basic black, I'm going to take some Tombow on the back of the Whisper White and lay that on top. I'm collecting too much stuff on the workspace here. My glimmer paper layer, put that over the top as well. Let's hold that for a second, and then my final layer, which is my stamped layer, put some liquid glue on that, and I'm going to put it quite sparingly because actually Tombow shows through Whisper White, so don't put don't put great big gobs of it, just, you know, a light layer of it, and that one over the top there. And then that is giving me, I kind of modelled it on the fact that this is a diamond shape and it's edged with black enamel over the silver. That's why I've done that like that. Right, let's turn all of these little chaffies over, pick up my glue dots again, and so I can manipulate my butterfly exactly where I want it, which is up there, my bigger one, my elegant butterfly. My little one I'm going to put over there, and then I want to bring this flower down at the bottom because that's where my flower, up until now, had kept falling. And my tiny, tiny little, desperately diddy, gorgeous little heart, I want to elevate it slightly, so I hope you can see that. With your mini glue dots, pick up one half of it, one side of it with your paper piercer, and fold it over in half. Hopefully you can see that. And then you fold it over again and you end up with kind of like a quarter-shaped ball. You end up with a ball of it, and that will hide nicely behind your heart, so it won't show through on the other side. So it'll give it a little elevation. will also hold it in place. So if I turn that on its side, hopefully, there you go, you can see that it's lifted it up. And then that is my card. There's no sentiment or anything, but it was done to match this. Let me get a piece of white paper and then I will zoom in for you. And you can see it with my ever so very slow zoom. Oh, too far. Just there you go. With my dragonfly, that's a little heart that's there, and my 3 clear crystals, my 3 red crystals, and 3 black crystals. Flower, gorgeous ladybird, and another flower down in the bottom corner. And so my card is made inspired by my locket. So I hope you've enjoyed South Hill on Stampin' Up on Sunday, a little bit different. So you can see the paper project in detail over on pootles.co.uk, and you can see the locket in detail over on pootlesjewellery.com. But thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on Monday for a regular paper craft video and on Sunday for the jewel video. Bye!